Saturday, March 9, 2013. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1995 Subaru Legacy L Outback. I'm actually here today to talk to you about the starter. I actually was going to be doing a starter replacement video last week, but ran into some problems with that, so it looks like there will be no starter replacement video. At least not yet, and I'll tell you why. Basically, ever since I bought the car, I had this intermittent problem where I would turn the key, nothing would happen, or I would turn the key and get a click or two, or turn the key and then the starter would engage for, a second or two and then just kind of slow down and cut out. Eventually, though, if I turned the key enough times, the car would start up normally, and most of the time the car really did just start up normally. So I went to the junkyard and I got a replacement starter. This is a junkyard part. It obviously, look at the paint here. It looks like it's a rebuilt part already. Don't have any other information on it, but it was cheap enough that I just took a chance on it. And anyhow, I was trying to take the old starter out last week, and had a whole bunch of problems with the top bolt. It took forever to get it moving, and when I finally did, eventually it kind of started binding up again, and I was afraid of breaking it, and almost afraid that I already had broken it. But I was able to get it thread back in and tighten back down, but I didn't want to use too much force and break the bolt. And basically, I didn't want to have half a bolt sticking out of the engine and transmission late on a cold, wet Sunday night and not be able to fix it. So I just kind of put everything back together the way it was. But before I did, what I did was I cleaned up the electrical connections on the old starter, figuring that, there was a very small chance that might be my problem, and certainly couldn't hurt. Well, I got everything back together, and I've been driving the car for a week now, and those issues with the starter have not come back. So it's a little too early to say that was definitely the solution to my problem, but the connections were all corroded. This one right here, as well as that one. So with the starter on the engine, I was able to get a little wire brush in there and clean them up, much like I already have to these. And the starter's been working fantastic ever since then. So if you're having difficulty with your starter, the moral of the story is try cleaning these two electrical connectors before you do anything else, before you spend money on anything else. I did buy a brand new battery for this car, and I did buy a starter. Luckily, we have two automatic Legacies, and this part might come in handy in the future. So, it's going to go into my parts stash, but, until then, it looks like I really just don't need to replace it yet. So, really just, take off this nut and clean up this connection here, as well as the cable going into it. And, like I said, as well as this one here, and that might solve your problem. So, this is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and I hope this helps, and good luck.